K1 Community, Jeff Wiggum. Daily chat. Why do I do it? Just so somebody out there might hear somebody talk about Jesus, right? No requirements, no entry fee, no real high agreement on theology. It's just just talk about Jesus. I mean, I'm sort of thinking that's one of the main things of the kingdom of God now. K1 Community is about the kingdom of God. It's a message that's sort of funky because about putting the kingdom first or seeking the kingdom or how we're citizens of that kingdom. We're not citizens here. But that message a lot of times still doesn't translate. I know people that know me for ever. For the last 15 years, I've been talking kingdom of heaven. Why? Because the Bible talks about preaching the gospel of the kingdom of heaven, right? More than the gospel of Jesus. Let's read the end of the book of Acts, or hear what Jesus preached, when he came up out of after being baptized and tempted. They're preaching the kingdom of God. The fact that we don't hear kingdom of God. So, but people that know me and I talk about kingdom of God for 15 years, they still have no clue what K1 is. I have an old friend of mine. K1, I thought it was a financial document. Well, it is. But I think the K1's better to think about treasure in the kingdom of heaven where we're from. It lives in our heart, and I think there's literal aspects to that, but we can say that we keep a lot of things in my heart. My kids are always in my heart. Everything's in my heart. Basically, I love the kingdom of God. I love the kingdom of heaven. That's my home. I long for the kingdom of heaven. I long to see the king come and set up the kingdom here, because that's what he's going to do. If I don't make it to see it with these own fleshly eyes, well, you know what? I guess I'll see it that either way. In the body or out of the body, I long to see the kingdom of heaven. Or I see the aspects of it because, I've been in places with, like even overseas or something. I've been in very foreign places, but I'm sitting with a few Americans that I know, and so we got a little slice of America, talking our own language and the rest of it, but we're in the middle of a foreign world. And that's very much what we are here. Right, we're in a foreign world now. It used to be home to us, but then we got born again. We became new creatures. It's not home to us anymore. And so we are, in some way, I guess we're always an ambassador. If I saw, for my home, as far as, I've seen people come over here. I've seen some French people, and generally, well, I say that I've seen some Africans because I hadn't been to Africa. And I sort of look at Nigerians and I have an idea of what I think Nigeria is like because they're a representative of it. Well, that's us with the kingdom. Guess what? That's not gold star to them, right? Well, they really showed up about Nigeria. No. They're Nigerians. Good Lord. I mean, the fact of it is, if we think by Christians just being a little bit different is what our job is, that's stupid, right? That we're supposed to be different because we're born again. Oh, if you're not different from the world, guess what? You're probably not born again. I don't know why that's so complicated, except we've been told that just trying to, be kingdom of God like is somehow our job. That's not your job. That's your reality. People will judge it because if they even know that you're foreign. Maybe you fit in so well that there's nothing different about you in the world. Probably not of the kingdom. That sounds like a jerk thing to say, but the fact is nobody has said that to you. That's who's been a jerk as a preacher, not telling you that ahead of time. But now, so what do we really do? Here's the good news. Man, I love, I'm overseas. It's been a long time since I've been overseas. I love being there with some other Americans and thinking to myself, man, I love America. Glad to visit, but I love America. Well, that's what we should be like here. Talk a different language, and it doesn't mean don't cuss. A different language of what is our wealth. Guess what? We're not spending euros, man. We're spending U.S. dollars. That's our currency. right? That's the numbers we talk in. So guess what we spend here? Faith. We run on faith. This world runs on money. Kingdom of God runs on faith, trust. Right? That's how we get things done. It's a currency. The currency. And you know, in my situation, I'm just going to try to speak a little more plainly because I've seen it. And you know what? I've seen a lot of people that they don't believe that. And they'll say they believe, yeah, just shall walk by faith. And they're full of crap. They're playing the same game, striving for the same thing, have the same ambitions as the secular people do. Now, the fact of it is we are going to live here, you know, and eat and blah, blah, blah. But remember where we started off. Kingdom of, you know, K1, the kingdom of God's in your heart. Your love, right? If you love the world, the love of God's not in you. If you're a friend with the world, you're an enemy with God. That's just straight Bible quoting, people. Etc., etc. But the kingdom, that's it. And I know nobody watches these things anyway, but you know, so the kingdom, man, is good news. Can you imagine what the kingdom's going to be like? Right? And guess what? It says Jesus in Isaiah, there's all kinds of stuff, but there's a lot of other things. They'll talk about, you know, the government of God's on his shoulders, right? And all these, there's a government. And it says that we're going to rule the believers, followers of Christ, right? The true Jews that are circumcised in the heart, as Paul talks about, right? Us, that we're going to rule on earth and judge the angels. You know where Paul said that in a letter to Corinthians. You know, Corinthians is Greece. So don't think that Gentile believers are second-class citizens. They are not. All believers are one thing. All unbelievers are another. And that's what it says. Paul says literally there's no more Jew and Gentile. So what does it have to do with it? Well, that means we're citizens of a kingdom. There's people who are citizens and people who aren't citizens. And really there's only two places, with God or outside of God, in the light or out of the light. That's all there is. It's not complicated. Don't throw Buddhism or, you know, or Catholic or, no, those are all out of the light, right? In the light is just biblical following Jesus, right? Being born again. So that's what we need to focus on. We need to focus on walking in the kingdom, and then of course there's lots of stuff with that. I think that we're commanded to focus on building wealth in heaven because we're going to have jobs, right? We got stuff to do. There's a government. There's an operating. By the way, if we die before he returns, then I guess we're going somewhere. I think we're going, you know, into wherever that place is. I don't think all that's, you know, maybe in the earth. But I know it's to be present with the Lord. And so, but we have the rich man and Lazarus. So there's a good side. There's a gulf and a bad side. That's not the only places there are. Tartarus, right? The deepest hell is, they got some angels chains down there. But as far as us, where we're going to go, if you're a citizen of this other kingdom, you're going to go be with the Lord wherever that is. I say that's good. But if for some reason he comes back before you pass away, man, you'll be caught up in the air. But that word is actually ruach, which means air and spirit. But his coming here. He's coming here. He's setting up a kingdom here on this earth. And so there's going to be a government. Okay. Kingdom of heaven's real. Let's treat it like it's real. Let's be citizens of something different. And I think how do we do that? Well, part of it is we stop being citizens of here. And we stop doing the things that people do here. I don't know where that's the starting point. That's my daily rant. Chat. It's Sunday, which is, I ain't worshiping the sun god on his day. I'm worshiping Yahweh every day. God bless.